Beauty don't leave. Groovy don't activate a new babe, and he's knocking. And you, yeah. Did you get? Wait now.
One thing I love about Big Brother is that he's very intentional with whatever he does on the show. People might not agree to what he does, or people might not see things from his angle, but what he does on the show, he's very intentional with it. For the very first time yesterday, Sheggz and Bella were separated from each other. And I know a lot of shippers were like, what is happening? Big Brother does not like them. No, Big Brother likes them, but he was intentional about what he was doing.
Guy, you're too blessed. In fact, you're stupidly blessed.
I don't doubt that.
You don't doubt that. So if you don't doubt that, you'll never be like, why is my name not in this thing? Do you think on the couch? Do you think it didn't cross my mind like I was there? I don't think Groovy and Phyna bought 2 tickets.
They didn't buy 2 tickets.
They didn't buy 2 tickets. Do you think it didn't cross my mind? It crossed my mind. Why didn't I thought to myself, why is my own situation different? I thought it as well, but do you know what I thought about it? I thought about it. I'm still super blessed to be here. It's 24 hours, it's not that big. And I'm going to ask Biggie if I don't have to go. And if I don't have to go, I'll chill with my baby. And if I have to go, I'll go.
If there's anyone that needs to go, there is you.
Yeah, because I actually need a fucking break. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So yes, the housemates had already purchased tickets for dates. And I know Sheggz and Bella thought they were going to have like a me and you date where Sheggz and Bella would just spend time alone, just like the way Rose and Emmanuel did in last season. But then it was actually like a Showmax movie date. So what they paid for was that one person can go at a time, though they paid for like 2 people, but one person could only go at a time. And in the list of what Big Brother sent to the house through Phyna, Big Brother mentioned Sheggz, he mentioned Eloswag, he mentioned Chomzy, he mentioned Chichi, Phyna and Groovy. Now Phyna and Groovy must have paid for just one date. I mean, I don't think they paid for like 2 people having a date, but then somehow Big Brother did not get Bella into that list. I don't know the intention behind it, but Big Brother separated Sheggz and Bella. So these people I just mentioned were told to pack their things to move to the level 3 house, just to spend to watch a movie and also to sleep over. He didn't want them to return back that night. Now, like I said when I started this video, is that I like Big Brother because he's very intentional with what he does. Telling them to sleep over, they could have just gone to see the movie and come back to the house, but telling them to sleep over, he had like intentions, he had his own thoughts towards the whole issue, and he wanted something to happen. And actually a lot of things happened. So one, Big Brother separated Sheggz and Bella from spending the nights together. I mean, Bella was in the normal house while Sheggz went to the level 3 house with Groovy, Phyna, Chichi, Chomzy and Eloswag. Like I said, they tried to infuse Bella into the mix. I mean, Eloswag was willing to give his spot to Bella, but then Big Brother was like, no way, the people I mentioned in the list will be the ones to go for the movie date. So yeah, when they went for the movie date, they watched a movie, a South African movie. I think one the man that was in the movie was not showing his wife affection or love and all those things, and some other men were hitting on her and she was almost falling. So I mean, they were already having conversation as to women cheat, men cheat and stuff like that. Great movie. I mean, they enjoyed their time watching the movie. After the movie, they went to the dining table to, I mean, just catch up before going to bed. So while they were in the dining table, conversations came up. I mean, conversations from the past. A lot of things were addressed on this table. I'm just going to mention about 4 to 5 things that were discussed on this table. And trust me, one thing I got from this conversation was that many of them have been having misunderstandings because they did not communicate. They didn't know the situation from the other side. They just ran with their own assumptions about a situation. So they talked about the Rachel and Sheggz fight with the Bella fight. I mean, Sheggz was like, he knew his girlfriend was wrong, but something about him that he has now noticed that is bad about him is that he tends to, because once he likes you, or once you are his person, he tends to defend you all through, instead of at least sometimes just sitting back, watch the situation, analyze the situation based on, I mean, I'm reasoning what has gone on, what has happened between these 2 people, if the person I like was wrong, there is a way I can go and talk to that person and correct the person, instead of just standing up for somebody, and even when the person is wrong, you're standing up for the wrong things. I mean, he said that that's one thing he has learned about himself, that once you are expressing, he will just carry your matter on his head. And I agree with him. Most of the altercations Sheggz had in this house, or in the Big Brother house, it stems from Sheggz trying to defend Bella or something. I'm not saying all, but most of them, it stems from Sheggz trying to defend Bella from something she has already done. Bella is very rude. She has some, bad character. Everyone does, but her own is very obvious that she does a lot of things that does not go well with a lot of housemates. And when they call her on her bullshit, Sheggz is there trying to fight the person because he's the boyfriend to Bella. Sometimes you just let Bella and the person that is having the issue have their issues, and at the end of the day, try to settle it. You don't have to be in the situation. So one thing that happened with that Rachel and Sheggz fight, with Bella fight conversation, was that Phyna and Chichi, even Chomzy self and Groovy, they told him where he went wrong, that sometimes he should let them have their fight. Let women fight their fight, because some of the times when he's having fights, you're having fights with women. Why not just let women have their fight and settle? So that was one conversation that was treated on the table. So another conversation they had was the Amaka situation. The Amaka telling Chichi that Groovy and Phyna were having sex. Who lied in this situation? Sheggz exposed the whole situation to Groovy and Phyna for the very first time. He has not spoken on it, but he spoke on it for the very first time because, Bella was involved in the conversation. Now, this was what he said. He said, Amaka and Chichi had a conversation about Phyna and Groovy's relationship. Now, the whole thing Amaka told Chichi, he does not know, but that was they had a conversation, and Chichi told Bella about the whole conversation. Now, if you remember when Big Brother moved Groovy to the other house where he was going to meet Chomzy and the rest, everyone thought that okay, he was going to make move on Chomzy because he liked Chomzy, but then he was already building something with Phyna. So when Groovy came to the house, Bella and her boyfriend, and what's his name now, Bella and Sheggz had a conversation about Groovy moving to Chomzy. And while they were having the conversation, Bella told Sheggz as her boyfriend, that see, we've already heard stuff that Groovy is already having sex with Phyna. And if Groovy is already having sex with Phyna, I would not want, if Groovy is already having sex with Phyna, then he means that he's a bad guy if he's trying to move on Chomzy right now. So Sheggz was like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to have a conversation with Groovy because Groovy is my guy. I'm going to tell him that, oh, there's Eloswag in that mix, so please don't spoil the relationship. But then Bella was like, no, don't tell him anything. Let him do his thing and stuff like that. Then Bella went to Chomzy to tell Chomzy that, see, this is what I heard about Groovy and Phyna, that they're already knacking. So if he comes to you to try to toast you, do your thing, but just have sense. You understand? It's just a normal girl conversation. If a girl knows that okay, this guy already have sex with one other girl that she knows, if she wants to protect this her friend, she'll tell her friend and say, that guy is knacking people, don't allow him knock you too. Because that's one of the things girls don't like, that when a guy just have sex with them and just moves on because he's having sex with different girls, they really don't like it. So that was where Bella was telling Chomzy from a place of love, don't fall for this guy's bullshit and stuff like that. So yeah, so while they had conversation, remember they now merged the houses, and Chomzy now went to meet Groovy. Based on what I heard, she was high that day, so she said a lot of things. So in the process of having a conversation with Groovy, she now told Groovy that I heard you and Phyna were already having sex. Now, the whole issue here, Sheggz said the whole issue here was that he does not know, because the problem was from either Chichi or Amaka. And with the way Amaka reacted on the show, with the way she was crying, with the way she said she never said that, trust me, I believe Amaka that she never said that. Sometimes when you pass information to some people, they might twist the conversation, they might twist the information that you give into them when it's going to meet the other person. The whole essence or the meaning of the conversation from what person 1 has told person 2 now changes when it gets to person 3. It happens a whole lot of times when informations are being transferred. There is coloration to the story, there is changes to the story. So the issue was it's either Amaka or Chichi that actually added that part that Phyna and Groovy were already having sex. And somehow I just suspect Chichi because the way she was acting from when they were having the issue when they merged the house until now that they are having the issue. I mean, I still suspect Chichi. But when they come out, I mean, they will have that conversation during their reunion. So that was another conversation they had. Now, another conversation that was discussed was the whole beauty disqualification and Groovy moving to Phyna almost immediately. Now, Groovy for the very first time cleared that conversation as see, I didn't move to Phyna almost immediately. Even Phyna told her own part of the story of how she didn't even want Groovy. She does not date fair guys. And Groovy was just coming to her bed, sleeping on her bed. And one thing led to another. They now became a thing. But then Groovy for the very first time talks about how Beauty left the show. And how he was even trying to even be cool with her. But then she raised her voice on him even after the whole altercation they had the night before she was dismissed from the show. So yeah, for the very first time, Groovy talked about that situation. And the other conversation they had was Chichi and Chomzy debating on whether she betrayed her and Bella or betrayed, and I mean I really would not be able to talk about because it was just confusing for me. They have like deep things about themselves that they need to talk about maybe after the show, maybe during their reunion. But one thing I could tell you from their whole conversation was that Chichi is nobody's friend. She's not loyal to anybody. She will gossip about everybody to everybody. And at the end of the day, she's just trying to win the 100 million. We come from different backgrounds. People are very desperate to win money. Some people are not desperate to win money. Some people are not desperate because they have money. Some people are not desperate because it's not in their person to be desperate. Some people are also desperate because they must win at all costs. So I mean, Chichi looks like the person that is very desperate to win the money, and she would play the game to suit herself, to make herself look good. And I mean, if she was put up for eviction, but Phyna saved her. And Chomzy was trying to tell Phyna that while we're in our level 1 house and you guys are in your level 2 house, Chichi said a lot of things about you that I've not even known you, but I already hate you, or I'm already feeling some type of way about you because of the information Chichi gave us. Now that we've merged, I'm seeing that you and Chichi are like a friends, and I'm confused as to how that friendship is happening. But then Chichi was like, if you want to say something about me, say it, and all those kind of things. Well, it's just women fighting themselves. They will get over it. I mean, and also, like I said when I started this video, I said Big Brother does things with intentions. And one thing I know he did was that he gave Sheggz and Bella time to have conversations with other housemates, time to bond with other people. It's always Sheggz and Bella, Sheggz and Bella, Sheggz and Bella. But the truth is, you need to bond with other people. When you don't bond with other people, you become an enemy of the whole house. And I mean, Sheggz and Bella are always saying that people don't like them in the house and stuff like that. I don't think people don't like them. It's just them having some kind of thoughts about situations. When you have bad attitude, people need to check you on those bad attitudes. One thing I've learned on this show is that I'm not going to really take things too deep on this show because I mean, first off, these guys are Gen Z. They make a lot of mistakes. When I was their age, I made a lot of mistakes my own self. I know I look young and you'll be asking how old I am. Well, I'm older than everybody in the house. So apart from Diana, I'm older than everybody in the house apart from Diana. So yeah, Bella even had conversations with Doing and what's his name? Cheesy. She had conversations with Cheesy, and I mean they were really cool. They talked about love, relationship, family. They even talked about how Bella should ask Sheggz his blood type so that they would know if they are compatible. I mean, that's what Big Brother wanted. He wanted them to be apart, to have time for themselves. Even though Bella was crying at the early stage of Sheggz leaving, but at the end of the day, it turned better. Though she missed him, he's back in the house and she misses him, and Sheggz said, I missed you as well. But then they had their good times apart from each other. You cannot always be with your partner. When you are without your partner, you should be happy within yourself. And when you are now with your partner, you should be happy. I mean, that's what relationship is about. So I mean, these guys are young and they are learning on the show. I saw a beautiful side to Bella yesterday night. I saw a beautiful side to Sheggz last night. And I'm like, okay, these guys are not really bad. Probably they just need to learn some things. They need to learn some things to change their pattern of living or how they think about things. So that's the whole situation that happened in the Big Brother Naija house yesterday. I hope that they will be able to live very well with other housemates as they continue the show. We don't know if they are leaving, they are up for eviction this week. We don't know if anyone is leaving this week. But then I hope, they have a better relationship with housemates outside of this show.